Welcome to 5 things I'm looking forward to in Dune Awakening and 5 things I'm not. I'll be doing this in a good bad pattern. So without further ado, let's get into it. The building system is very intricate in Dune Awakening. I really like how they designed it and how it's gonna work. The blueprinting is super handy. You can build an entire ghost base to see how you like it before spending any of your precious resources. You can also buy other people's full base blueprints off of their in-game player market. So if you're not really the creative type, you can borrow somebody else's genius and fill in and enjoy. Kind of like a paint by numbers. You can also trade away your own designs, which creates a really cool dynamic in the game, especially for builders. The building tool itself looks simple to use. There is a build mode, a piece picker, a demolish mode, and a repair mode. There seems to be a lot of different pieces you can utilize as well to either make your favorite box or have your neighbors questioning what kind of wizardry you're performing behind the scenes. Knowing Funcom as well, they are really good at creating some beautiful building sets, as I've seen many in their previous game. So it's really going to be a builder's paradise. Just make sure you upgrade your sub-thief for more room. We cannot ride sandworms like you see poor Atreides and the Fremen do in the movies. Joel responded to a Discord comment in the official Dune Discord asking if sandworm riding was coming or planned for the future. Joel responded with, "We want to, yes." It would be really neat if worm riding was included in the game in some shape or form. Whether it be an actual thing you can ride around on in the dunes, or if it was just some sort of mini arcade type game thing you can access in one of the social hubs. That would be pretty banging if you could compete in worm racing with some folks across the world. I imagine it's not the easiest thing to implement. I haven't really seen anything like it, apart from riding dinos in Ark. But I get they'd want it to be like a unique, powerful experience, as it looks crazy in the movies and it's such a big thing, and they'd probably want to bring you some sort of that same sense of adrenaline that you see. Imperial testing stations, they are all over Arrakis, so you can expect to bump into many of them. They are essentially dungeons that hold valuable technology, or loot in our case. Your aim will be to fight through them and obtain blueprints and resources, and you may stumble across some unique tools or weapons as well, which give different buffs or characteristics. Dungeons are super fun challenges, so I am looking forward to exploring some of these hidden treasures and seeing what Funcom have made of them. Imagine they will be a destination to find out some more lore about Arrakis and its history. PvE endgame. I've not seen much in regards to a PvE endgame just yet. It's mainly been PvP. Perhaps it just hasn't been spoken about yet or whatnot, but Dune's endgame mainly has been advertised currently as a PvP experience, which is the inverted version of what the first main portion of the game is like. So to explain what I mean here, it has been said that Hagar Basin is like 90% PvE and an optional 10% PvP, such as shipwrecks minus the first one-year encounter. Once you are ready, you'll be able to go to the border and travel to the deep desert, which is 90% PvP and 10% PvE map. The PvE space is where you're first set down, so nobody can spank you whilst you're loading up. The deep desert wipes weekly with the Coriolis storm and is the biggest space in the game, as it's said to be 500 to 900 players can access the server, and the map space is 500 square kilometers. One of my main worries for this, from seeing the responses to it being a thing, is that it is a deal breaker for a lot of people. I'd like to see what they have up their sleeve, or at least a hint of it, so it's a bit more reassurance for those who aren't into that, and they have an alternative pathway they can take so they can still enjoy some kind of endgame conclusion as well. Vehicles are super cool in Dune Awakening. They look really smooth to move around on, especially the recent footage we've seen from the gameplay demo stream, with the Ornithopter looking extremely nice to handle. Upon taking the reins and flying it around, you can dive, do barrel rolls and all sorts. There are quite a few vehicles in the game. I'll list the ones I know about. The Sandbike, the Ground Car, Ornithopter, Harvester, and Tank. Some of these also have subsets as well, like the Ornithopter. We've seen a smaller version of it and a much bigger concept art, as well as trailer piece. And that one is able to clamp a harvester onto the bottom of it to make spice collection much easier to harvest. The Sandbike looks to be your beginner type vehicle that can get you around. You cannot outrun the Sandworms on it. And with the right modifications, it can seat up to 2 people. Modifications are a thing in Dune. It looks like you can customize your vehicles to have different components on them. That helps them do different jobs. We've seen things like scanners on bikes and ornithopters that scan the area for useful things, to storage options or even rockets for ornithopters. We saw that on a concept art a few weeks back. You can also customize your vehicle by applying shaders to them, so you can make them any color you like. Either way, I am super hyped for vehicles in Dune Awakening, and you should be too, as they will play a huge role in the game for you, transporting you around Arrakis. Quick note here, if you're enjoying today's video, smash a like on it and subscribe for more Dune Awakening content. I am heavily covering the game, so my channel will be a hotspot for all things Dune. Thank you. Body modification. There is not much of it in the character creator. You can download the character creator and benchmarking tool right now on Steam if you'd like to experiment around with it and prepare your character for launch. If you've used this, you'll know that you cannot customize your torso down proportions very much. There's a little bit of it, but not a whole lot. And it's mainly just your facial features and makeup, hairstyle, etc. I know having too many customizations in those regards can make characters and outfits look pretty goofy, but I do love that silliness in video games. It puts a smile on my face. Mentorships are super well thought out in Dune. You are not isolated to one single teaching set, so you cannot mess up from whatever you picked in the character creator, as you can access every single mentorship out in the world by coming across teachers of the skill. You just have to find them. Knowing me, if you cannot be asked to do the searching or if you're having trouble finding them, I will have a video for it coming up around about launch. There are 5 mentorships. Yes, there is a hidden 5th. Your starting ones provided are the Mentat, which is your scout with poison abilities. The Bene Gesserit, which are your mind controllers with psychic skills. The Trooper, which is your soldier type with grappling hooks and grenades. And finally, the Swordmaster, which has the Way of the Blade. 5th is the Planetologist, which gives you a bunch of world skills. One of the skills this mentorship provides, which I've sourced from previous Dune blog posts, is the ability to make sync chart maps, which are extremely useful for the deep desert map. So you could have equipped a Bene Gesserit skill and a Mentat skill at the same time. And this goes for any mentorship skill combination. So you could use abilities from multiple ones. I'm interested to see what kind of builds people use in the full game, and I'm looking forward to see what more of these abilities do and are. I've seen it mentioned a lot throughout Dune's pre-release cycle, and I have to mention it here. It is, of course, combat. Before I start on this topic, I want to mention that Funcom have a stream coming up very soon in April, which will focus on combat entirely. This will be on the 15th, and it is already premiere scheduled on their YouTube channel. Let me quickly drift over to the Funcom comment section here and give you an idea on the mood from the community regarding combat. That's just just some for example. I've had a few concerned commenters drift my way as well. Mainly the feedback will sum up that it's looking clunky. I know in the live stream there was a few moments where the animations in combat looked a bit awkward with the swords play. I was genuinely happy though that they weren't afraid to show this or cover it up, so you know what you're getting yourself into. I don't think it will be incredibly smooth like you have in other games where combat is a primary focus, but I don't personally feel too bothered by that either. Maybe that's because I'm used to my fair share of clunk in games. Most survival games don't really have super impressive combat systems like you get in, for example, a Souls-like game. Hopefully they will smooth out some of those animations before launch. They did well on idle animations and fatalities in their previous game, so fingers crossed they can make it a bit more desirable to those that really enjoy a smashdown. From those who are passionate on this topic, I'd like to hear your constructive criticism in the comments on the matter of why you're not into Dune's combat currently, and what you'd like to see from them. It's always helpful to have fresh new perspectives on topics like these, I do find. I have to mention it in a video like this, but I love Sandworms in Dune Awakening. They sound absolutely terrifying, and I think they absolutely should be. They are a force of nature you don't want to mess with. The ones you see at the start of the game are the baby ones. Later on in the game, you can expect to see the big ring-mouthed worms you've seen in some of their promotional material, especially the first one. You can come across sandworms in open sandy spaces, and they will actually force you to cross a few within the game. Like when you move out of the starter area into the next zone, there is a huge space of sand you have to cross. There is also situations the devs make you go out onto the sands to farm certain materials like flower sand, making it even more likely for you to cross paths with the sandy leviathan. They've also provided a slightly intimidating sound pattern to indicate to you when you're making too much noise and attracting the worms. If it turns red, you've been seen, and it's time to run as fast as possible before you become somebody's lunchtime snack. They seem to be super scary and patrol areas. They look incredible, and I can't wait to go out worm sightseeing on Arrakis. Console launch. We haven't got a date for it, and it doesn't look like we're getting one anytime soon. The reason I wanted to mention console launch is because a few certain factors. I've seen from a few games I play how nice it is when games are built to service all of their platforms in conjunction, and have been built in a way all platforms can cross-play with each other. I feel like when games have this kind of separate thing, you feel it a lot more in the community, and it can create some really awkward situations, or even conflict in some places and rifts between the different groups. I know there are many factors to getting platforms to work all seamlessly together when it comes to updating, like with consoles having certification struggles which can take weeks to resolve, whereas PC it's a lot easier to hotfix and requires a lot less when it comes to processing builds and putting out patches. It's a bit like me playing Stardew Valley on mobile. I remember how long I waited for Ginger Island to finally arrive on mobile, and I was ecstatic when I got my hands on it, but it had to be something like a year or so. It felt like forever. It's just one of those, I guess. I just want to see how they navigate it, and I hope when it does come to updating and stuff, they can somewhat get it seamlessly together to prevent any problems from happening or conflicts internally. I hope when it comes out on console for console players, it functions well. And as soon as I hear any news for it coming out, you can bet I will have a video on it, sharing the good news for you lovely guys and girls. That's all 10 things I'm looking forward to and things I'm not. I hope you enjoyed listening today, and if you have any you'd like to share of your own, I'd love to read them in the comments down below. Whether it be pros, cons, or a mixture of both. Either way, thank you for watching, I love you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!